So now we're going to do this stuff together. Okay? Okay, good. Someone just said sounds good. Okay, good. I'm glad. All right. Okay, here we go. Okay, so let's do this together. So again, here, okay, so again, here we have our exam, right? Now, with the exam, right, the scores are out of 20. They're normally distributed, okay? Normally distributed, and we're given that the mean is 10 and the standard deviation is 3. Okay? Now, we want to know what we want to fill in the blanks here, right? You know, between what values do 68% of the data does it lie? Well, remember, just like in the other examples, you want to subtract and add the standard deviation to the mean. So 10 minus 3, right, equals 7. You know, 3 is the standard deviation. 10 is the mean. So 10 minus 3 is 7. 10 plus 3 we have is 13. So we're subtracting and adding the standard deviation. So we get 7 and 13. So between 7 and 13, 68% of the scores for the exam lie. Or same thing as this, 68% of the students scored between those two values. Okay. Now, for the next one, 95%, basically what you do is you subtract 2 times the standard deviation and add 2 times the standard deviation. So we have 10 minus 6, which is 4, 2 times 3. 10 plus 2 times 3, which is 16. Again, 3 is the standard deviation, so we're subtracting and adding 2 times that to the mean. So between 4 and 16, do 95% of the test scores lie? 95% of the data. (99.7%) of the data values, that's going to lie between the mean minus 3 times the standard deviation and the mean plus 3 times the standard deviation. So between 10 minus 3 times 3, which is 10 minus 9, which is 1, and 10 plus 3 times 3, which is 10 plus 9, which is 19, right? Between 1 and 19, do 99.7% of the scores, exam scores, lie. Okay, so that's what we have here. Any questions on this? Remember, I can't see the chat, so if you have a question, use the hand raise feature. Or if you want to type in the chat, use the hand raise feature to get my attention to the chat. So, okay. All right. As I said before, I think I mentioned this earlier. I did show a way to graph normal distribution, the normal distribution curve in Desmos, and I actually discovered a better way to do that. And I'm going to demonstrate that now. So let me stop this. So I'm going to have to bounce back and forth now between Desmos and this. Hopefully no one has a problem with that. So now, let's see. So again, what we want to do, for Desmos, just as a reminder, we're going to go to Desmos, okay? So let me share that screen. So bear with me, I have to stop this. But again, the notes are in front of you. I emailed everyone the notes. Share the application window, Chrome tab. Here we go. Now, notice on the top right, you could log in or sign up. For sign up, you could use a Google account or an Apple account. It is free to do. Do you have to do that for this class? Well, no, you don't. But you could actually log in, and with logging in, you could actually save the graphs that you make in Desmos. It's all free to do. And you could also make an account using your email address. I don't think it has to be Google here for that. You probably could use your Oneonta one. I mean, I could be wrong about that. I'm not going to lie to you. So, but again, it is free to do. So, it's a really nice graphing software. It's it's free. It's a lot cheaper than buying a graphing calculator. All right. Okay, now, once we get here, I'm going to log in. So I'm logging in through Google because I have a Google account, which is also free to make. So through Math Tools, okay, I think it says this on the slides, you click, then you go to Graphing Calculator. And again, you could download the app, for your phone, for your smartphone, Graphing Calculator, click. Okay, now, here we can actually graph stuff. Now this is in the notes as well. I did show one way to actually sketch the normal distribution curve. I'm going to show you an easier way actually, a nice way actually, a better way that is. If you click on the keyboard down here on the bottom left, right? What happens? You click, then you go to functions on the right, click that. What you want to do is click on DIST. There's a lot of other stuff here. There's trig functions, inverse trig functions. These are actually called hyperbolic trig functions. That don't worry about for this class. Yeah. You want to click on DIST. I mean, if you click on things like stats, you can see like median, min, all this other stuff. Not sure what miscellaneous is, all that stuff. Anyway, if you click on distribution here, DIST, you'll see normal DIST here under distributions. Okay, so if we click that, bring the keyboard down, you could type in any number for the first one. You could type in the mean first, then a comma, then the standard deviation. If you leave it alone, which I'm doing at the moment, it'll think that you want the mean to be 0 and standard deviation 1. That's if you don't type anything in. Okay. We're not going to do that though. What we're going to do instead is this. So let me type in a number. I don't know. Let me type in 5, 2. I just made up these numbers. The CDF thing here, you want to leave that alone for now. We'll come back to that on Thursday. But you can see now we graph the normal distribution curve with a mean of 5 and a standard deviation of 2. And remember, you can zoom in by using the plus and minus on the right here. As you can see, you can zoom in and zoom out. So let's zoom in. And you can see the normal distribution curve. Right? We can see that. Okay, so that's good to know. Okay, so we're zooming in like that. Let me see something actually here. Okay. There's other things you can do with this. For instance, you could change the standard deviation. So if I made this instead 0.2, you can see the graph is going to change. Sometimes you might have to move the graph to move the, You might have to click and hold to get to see what the graph is. So for instance, if I made the mean instead of 5, if I made it, I don't know, 15, right? I mean, we have the graph, but we don't have that peak. But you can find it easily. Namely, you can click anywhere in the graph and drag to get to it, because we know it has to be at 15. Like so. What you could also do is you can go to this wrench icon. If you were to click on that, you can then, change the interval for the x-axis for what you see. Same thing for the y-axis. You can do all that good stuff. And if you did want to get back to the origin, you can click on the home screen, and it'll bring you back to not only the default zoom, but it'll bring you back to the origin. All right, that's pretty cool. I figured it'd be good to show everyone that. I mean, if you do log in and make an account, you can actually save your graph. So it just saved it, although I didn't type in a name for the file, but you could save it though. All right. Okay, so that's what's on the, that was on the slides. You can also type in normal distribution. So let's say for some reason we forgot to click on the, the keyboard. You can type, let me see if they can see this. Yeah, everyone can see this. You can type in normal, D-I-S-T. But then you have to type the parentheses in as well. Okay, so typing in the parentheses, right? Then we could type in, I don't know, we could type in any number, I guess, like, 15, comma, 0.2. Actually, let me make it small. Let's make it 5, right? And you could see that it'll graph it for you, which is pretty cool. If you don't have an account made, here it'll be, I think it'll be like sign up or log in. It has my name here because we're logged in through my account. Okay, good. All right. Are there any questions on that so far?